You're the person we can't make sense about. You're the person in the conundrum. I'm sitting here thinking about things. And how you can take a person that will say, well, that's their turn. My favorite is next. And they let that other person take care of the whole situation. And they're like, my favorite is next. And then the favorite's time comes, and the favorite says, I don't want you involved. And I say, what the hell just happened? Somebody's belief system just got eradicated. I don't know if that's the word I was looking for. Somebody waited all this time for something to happen, and then another person, the one they counted on, takes it away from them. Holy crap. That's gotta drive somebody nuts. Sitting here at the edge of patience. Can't take much more, and right there at the end of it, somebody says, no, I'm gonna take care of this myself. That was actually why I got my passport renewed. Look at this. We gotta look at this. What do they say? Passport. That's how they pronounce it in the Ukraine when you're at the border and they're taking you off at gunpoint. Passport. Oh boy, I don't know how to show this picture even. Oh, dropped shot records. That's a funny thing. With my passport, I keep my social security card. I keep my shot records. My immunization record. I have the record for when I got the bubonic plague vaccine. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Albert Camus wrote a story about the bubonic plague. I think he called it, I know he called it, the plague. So, this is a long, long time ago. We went in, going into Iraq, before we went into Iraq, right before that, probably 90 days, just to be sure that the vaccination was taken. I don't know. And they shot it in our ass. The bubonic plague. It was one of the things on this, what they call the silver bullet, the gamma globulin shot. It's like, you are giving me a vaccination against the bubonic plague? I get the feeling we're about to dump it on somebody. So that's why way before this corona thing ever happened, I'm like, these people keep shit. They do. It sounds like a conspiracy theory, but rock on. Doesn't it make sense? So yeah, I got a shot against the bubonic plague immunization records. I keep them with my passport. Look at that. Look at that. Have you seen this man? Might as well look at it again and make sure I didn't fucking expose any of my information. Have you seen this man? I was getting ready to go into Canada to meet Victoria. Though I didn't know I was going to meet Victoria in Idaho, I was getting ready to go through Canada. So I just, got my passport renewed. And I went down there really drunk one day. And I was like, to Walgreens. They had passport photos, and I'm like, you, actually. Let me take care of this. I think I probably walked in there looking like this at about 10:30 in the morning on a weekday because I worked midnights at the time in Kalamazoo, and I just come walking and I say, give me a passport photo. And so they take my picture and I was like, and the guy keeps saying, you can't smile, you can't smile, you can't smile. I'm like, why? I know the fucking rules, you can smile. They just don't want you to. And I know why. And I bought the photos. I have them in here somewhere. It's just like a maniacal fucking, if I'm gonna walk through a border in the fucking Uzbekistan, I'm gonna fucking look like the guy that's gonna be running around in there, So I got home and I sobered up and I looked at the pictures. I said, yeah, that might be going a little bit too far. And so I went back. A couple days later, and there was a dude there, and I said, passport photo. And he said, yeah. And he says, just stand there. I said, okay. So I stood there. And I had my picture taken. And I told him already, well, I didn't tell him already. I just took the picture. And when he brought it up on the screen with that, he looked at me and he said, now you see that? I said, yes. I'm looking. It was a very impressive picture. I just feel like I need to keep showing it to you. I don't know. Something about it makes me feel good. You see that? He says, and I said, yeah. He said, now they want us all to look like criminals in our passport photos. He's right there. You look like you just killed about 8 people. And that's a quote. And that's a quote. And I said, is that okay? And he said, that's perfect. There it is. That's my passport. We've got all these passports. We all become each other. You know, you got one of these. People know who you are. And then you look down and you pick something up. I'm not sure if this is right or not. The point is, all the people that want to be free don't ever want to leave. I guess you're free not to leave, but just go look at something. It really does tell me something. I'm gonna get back to it later. But look at this. This is like when you take a studio audience and write something down and throw it into a hat, and you take the guy, what's his name? Steve Allen, and he picked something out of the hat. Something the audience wrote down. And it says, Buffalo Bills versus the Washington Redskins. We make such a big deal out of every goddamn thing. And I'm not saying it's wrong, except when you can't see it, can't uphold it the other way. The Washington Redskins, I don't give a shit about any of it. I just find it interesting when I see these combinations of fucking reality coming into each other. Washington Redskins got rid of their names and everybody, big deal. The perfect time to have that word on the back of it and all that. But if this is about offending somebody, we took over. Wait, why is it that you can't offend somebody you beat? That's the question that's in there, right? That's a big deal. That is a big question. But then you've got the Redskins, and then you've got Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bill? I haven't looked it up, but if I remember anything, whether it's right or wrong, I remember that Buffalo Bill got his name for riding around and killing all the buffaloes so the Indians wouldn't have anything to eat. Still trying to figure out Wild Bill Hickok. But it just seems to me that if they're going to get rid of the Redskins as a name for a football team rather than football, which is a sport, why wouldn't they get rid of the Buffalo Bills? You got the Buffalo Bills, the people They killed all the fucking food. There are only two ways to get rid of a race of people. One of them is to disrupt all their food intake, and the second one, which makes it exponential, I love that word, is to breed them out by raping and going crazy across the continent. Oh yeah, how are we free? Let's ask that. Freedom? Just another word for nothing left to lose? No. Freedom, the last time, and the time that lasted forever, the name freedom, the word, the concept, the ideology, and all that stuff, was after we got out from under an empire, England. It was just to be free. Who got anything out of that? They called it $1 million wound in the military, in the army, but I haven't seen a nickel of it. They must have kept it all. You have to question everything they say. It sounds like a lot of work, but really, it's a whole lot of fun.